Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic to see you today. I'm so glad that you could join us. And welcome to our very special Chinese New Year Travel Festival and to this, our dedicated South America show. I'm Andy, your host on today's show, and I am super excited about what we have in store for you today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of Chinese New Year, 2021 was the year of the ox. But hey, we are so done with 2021. It's a new year, it's 2022. And so can you guess what the symbol is for 2022? Yes, you've probably got it already. It is indeed the year of the tiger. Now, the tiger represents a year for making changes. It's about risk-taking, it's about adventure, and most of all, it's about celebrating life. And what better way to celebrate life than, yes, you've got it, than to travel. So, coming up today, I'll be speaking to Wendy Wu about what makes traveling with Wendy Wu Tours on an escorted tour so special. We're going on a virtual tour to explore the highlights of South America, plus we'll be getting off the beaten track to those lesser known areas that are well and truly off the main tourist trail, as well as looking at some fantastic and authentic immersive experiences that Wendy Wu Tours are well and truly known for. Now, because we can only cover so much in one show, and when it comes to South America, there is a lot that we could talk about. So straight after this show, make sure that you stay with us because you'll be invited to our virtual travel lounge where our team of South America travel experts are waiting to meet you and to answer all of your important questions on everything to do with Wendy Wu Tours and of course traveling. So, ready to travel? Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined now by Wendy Wu, founder of Wendy Wu Tours, who also happens to be one of the most influential people in travel here in the UK, Australia and New Zealand. Wendy, it is great to be with you today.
Great to be with you too, Andy. And everyone, happy Chinese New Year.
Now, Wendy, the burning question, that big question. If you had to encapsulate the magic ingredients, the magic quality that makes touring with Wendy Wu Tours so special, what is it?
Andy, I would say fantastic passion, unsurpassed travel expertise, and a burning desire to serve.
Gosh, Wendy, that is hot.
Thank you, Andy. At Wendy Wu Tours, we have a team of travel experts, who loves nothing more than dig very, very deep into the culture, tradition, history, people, and every best thing that country has to offer, and put together so that when you come with us, you don't just see the country, but to live extraordinarily through the time you are with us.
Amazing, amazing. Did you hear that, viewers? Living extraordinary on your holiday in a different country. How amazing. Can it get any better?
Andy, we also have another team of passionate serving experts. And they love to look after you so well, 24/7, every step of the way. From your visa to flights, to every meal, every hotel, every sightseeing, and every bit of a commentary, every show, and introduce you to the local people. And all in all, when this combined, we want to make sure you have a holiday of a lifetime every and each time when you travel with us to a new country.
Oh, we like that. We like the fact that everything is included. Wendy, on that note, you say that you take care of everything. you know, every step of the way, which is really important on our holiday. So does that mean that you're coming on tour, personally coming on tour with us on every tour?
Andy, we have more than 1,000 trips, so I can't go on every tour. However, just use this year as example. I did join our first ever Spirit of Scotland group and joined the Magic Christmas in Scotland tour. And I have just wrecked the Portugal Uncovered. And I am just about to do the final personal check on Journey Through Jordan. So Andy, you are absolutely right. I do go on a lot of tours and vet them. And as you said, our tours are fully inclusive, which includes everything. Meals, flights, visa, every tour, every day, entrance fee, and guides, the best guides. So whatever you can think of, it's all included.
Wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, watch out when you're on tour, because Wendy may very well be there with you.
And yes.
So Wendy, we're here, it's the Chinese New Year Travel Festival, and as we heard earlier, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed the year of the tiger.
Yes.
So Wendy the tiger, what does that mean to you, to Wendy Wu Tours, and of course to our viewers today?
Andy, for the last 2 years, we were under lockdowns and we were robbed off the opportunity to travel. Now, it is the Chinese Lunar New Year. A new beginning and a season change or change of season. And it is the time to sow the seeds for the rest of the year. So for me and for our team, it is our job to showcase and inspire you with our wonderful and the best tours around the world. And whereas for you, our viewers, we want you to come with us and enjoy the ride, and to plan and to select the perfect dream holiday for your 2022-2023 and beyond great adventure.
Oh, Wendy, thank you. It's been great talking to you today. Thanks for taking the time out to be with us.
Thank you, Andy. And thank you, everyone. Once again, Happy Chinese New Year.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our countdown of the iconic highlights of South America. Now, of course, picking 6 highlights from an entire continent is absolutely impossible. We could do a top 20 on Peru alone, or on Chile, Argentina, or Brazil, but we'd be here all month. So we're going to have to narrow it down to the absolute wonders from this incredible continent. So the top 6 for South America it is. Now, every single one of these highlights is featured on our Ultimate South America tour. So many of you that we've talked to over the last year or two when we couldn't travel have told us when we do finally get to go away, it's going to be the trip of a lifetime. We're going to hit some of those bucket list items that we've had on our wish lists for our whole lives and really go big. Well, this tour covers all of these highlights. It's a wonderful trip and much more besides. So, without further ado, here's our South America's top 6. At number 6, we have the Atacama Desert in Chile. One of the driest places on Earth and one of the oldest deserts on the planet, 150 million years old. A geological wonderland of volcanoes, deserts, salt pans, bubbling hot springs. It's one of the most starkly beautiful places on the planet. We base ourselves at the charming town of San Pedro de Atacama, just on the edge of the desert. From here, we go out to see some of the scenic sights, including the incredible Valle de Luna, which has got soaring sand dunes, craggy ridges, and is beautiful any time of the day. But at sunset, when the rocks start to change colour into the ambers, reds, oranges, the whole place seems to just come aflame with life. It is really one of the most beautiful sights you'll ever see. A little further north, we have salt pans that are home to massive flocks of flamingos. You might also spot alpacas and llamas on your travels. And we have the El Techo geyser field, home, as it might sound, to geysers, bubbling hot springs, mud pools. Feels like the whole earth has come alive here. It's an astonishing place. This is also one of the best places in the world for stargazing. It's no coincidence that most of the space agencies in the world have observatories here. It's a wonderful place to sit out of an evening, maybe with a glass of Chilean white in your hand, and look up and admire the majesty of the starry skies above you. It really is an astonishing place. At number 5, we have Lake Titicaca on the borders of Peru and Bolivia. The world's highest navigable lake is also the largest lake in South America. The waters of the lake are an incredible deep, deep blue, and they're also famously tranquil, which gives them a real reflective quality as they reflect the encircling mountains around them. Scenically, it's spectacular. The lake itself is also culturally very significant. There's lots of evidence of pre-Inca civilizations around here, and on the lake itself, there's the incredible floating islands of Uros. As the Inca Empire expanded in the 16th century, the people of Uros escaped onto the lake and built their own man-made islands out of reed beds. And 500 years later, they're still there today. Now, many tour groups will take you out onto the lake on a day tour from Puno, but we like to do things with a little bit more style at Wendy Wu Tours. So, firstly, the journey from Cusco to Puno itself will be stylish on the Andean Explorer train, owned by the same people that own the Venice Simplon Orient Express. It's got dining cars, observation cars, a bar car. It's a real way to experience the beauty of the Altiplano in style. Once we get to the lake, we'll cross over to the Bolivian side and then board a catamaran for 2 days on the lake, including a night on the lake itself. As well as giving us the ample opportunity to see the beauty of the place, it also gives us exclusive access to the cultural centres on Sun Island, believed to be the birthplace of the Inca Empire. We'll get to see some traditional Inca heritage on there, and we'll also get the chance to ride on a reed boat built to the same traditional styles as the Incas used themselves. At number 4, we have the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, the world's largest salt flats. 11,000 square kilometers of pancake flat, sugar white salt flats stretching as far as the eye can see. The vast expanse of nothingness really plays tricks on your eyes and can do some astonishing things to your sense of perspective. It also, however, gives you some incredible opportunities for some superb photos. If you're lucky enough to visit the flats after you've had a spot of rain, the whole place is transformed into the world's largest mirror, 80 miles wide, perfectly reflecting the beautiful blue skies above. We stay on the edge of the desert whilst we're here in a hotel constructed out of salt. And when we say constructed out of salt, the whole thing is made out of salt. The walls, the roof, even the furniture. A unique place to experience what is a truly unique destination. At number 3, we have the Iguazu Falls, Argentina and Brazil. Poor old Niagara. That's what Eleanor Roosevelt said when she first saw the falls. And once you've experienced them for yourselves, you'll hardly blame her. Over 275 cascades surrounded by lush rainforests. The stats on the falls themselves are incredible. At the height of the rainy season, over 450,000 cubic feet of water crash into the valley below. That's enough to fill 3 Olympic swimming pools per second. What makes the falls unique, though, is your ability to get up close and personal with them, with a load of walkways that weave in and out of the various cascades. The highlight of the falls is probably the Garganta del Diablo, or the Devil's Throat, a 1 kilometer walkway that culminates in a spot where you're surrounded by 24 cascades all thundering down around you, mist all over the place. You can't hear a thing. You feel it in your chest. The whole thing is absolutely overwhelming and a really unforgettable part of your stay there. We spend 2 days at the falls. We see the Argentine side and the Brazilian side. We also make time to visit a local community as well to learn how they've made their life in the rainforest, to give a truly unique insight into this special place. Number 2, we have Sugarloaf Mountain, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio is one of the most exciting, colourful and vibrant cities on the planet, full of beautiful beaches, incredible vistas and a samba-fueled nightlife. Rising above it all, 315 metres, is the Sugarloaf Mountain. Named after the mounds of sugar that the Portuguese traders used to bring back from the Americas in the 19th century, it's a landmark of this incredible city. The cable car ride up to the mountain itself is spectacular, nearly a mile long, rising over rainforests. Did you know there was a rainforest within Rio? The only one within any city in the world. Getting to the top of the mountain, the whole of the city is stretched out below you. Beautiful Guanabara Bay, you can see the ocean, islands, the forests, the bays, and the beaches, of course. Look carefully down on Copacabana Beach. You may even spot where you'll be staying for the night. Only the best places for Wendy Wu Tours customers. And at number 1, we have Machu Picchu in Peru. A UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It's one of the most recognizable places on the planet. But for once, the place actually lives up to the hype. For one, there's a spectacular location. Sat on a rocky outcrop in the eastern Andes, surrounded by a hook of the Urubamba River and encircled by mountains and rainforests on all sides, the setting will absolutely take your breath away. When you're sat on the sun gate looking down over the site, the mountains there and the clouds swirling around, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a site that will stay with you for your whole life. Secondly, there's the site's preservation. Abandoned by the Incas, never discovered by the Spanish, and only brought to the attention of the Western world in 1911 by Hiram Bingham, the preservation of the site's incredible. There's over 150 buildings still standing, many of them built without mortar at all. You can't even get a credit card in between the stones, and they survived countless earthquakes as well. So to wander around the site almost feels like you could be there 500 years ago. It really is astonishing. An unusual point about the site actually is that there are no information boards anywhere in Machu Picchu at all, which is great when you're looking around, really helps the authenticity, but it really means you need a good guide. Luckily, at Wendy Wu Tours, of course, we've got incredible guides, so you'll really get the most out of this site. We also take the Vistadome train from Cusco up into Aguas Calientes, beautiful glass-topped roof on the train so you can see the rainforest going by, and we stay an extra night there beforehand so you get a full day on the site to really appreciate the majesty of this incredible place. So, there you have it, my top 6 for South America. Are they the same as yours? I sincerely doubt it, but I hope you can agree there's some incredible places on that list. Just to remind you, you can see all of these fantastic places on our Ultimate South America tour, and much, much more besides. I hope you can join us in 2022.
I've loved every minute of it. I decided I was going to see the world, and this is the place to see. If you go on one of these tours, you make some great friends.
Since the beginning of the tour to now, it's been absolutely fantastic, well organised. The itinerary has just been excellent. Couldn't have asked for more. And everyone on the group has got on so well. We really gelled together and it was fantastic. And Ken, the guide, has been amazing.
We've had great hotels, a wonderful guide with Ken. It's a really good group. I'm a solo traveller and I usually look for solo travel specialists, but I got in with this group and we've meshed really nicely. We've had a wonderful time. The food has been tremendous and I've enjoyed every minute. Everything has been thought of, everything has been considered. We've not had to think. For 9 days, all we've had to do is be where we're told to be at a certain time. And then we're taken away and shown the most wonderful thing.
Yeah, totally brilliant. We've delivered more than my expectations. Ken, our national tour guide, nothing has been too much trouble for him. So well organised by Wendy Wu. Brilliant tour, thoroughly recommended.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Holden, travel expert on South America from Wendy Wu Tours, has joined us today. Lee, great to see you.
Great to see you too, Ed.
Wonderful. Lee, I know you're incredibly passionate about South America, having travelled extensively around Peru and Chile. We've just seen some amazing sights on that video clip. So tell us, Lee, what really is the appeal of Peru and indeed what are the top highlights?
You're right, Andy, it's an amazing country. And I think for most people, the big draw is the Inca heritage. Now, of course, most people have heard of Machu Picchu. We saw it on our top highlights of South America. It's one of the most iconic sites in the whole of South America. But actually, the Inca Empire stretched all the way from modern-day Colombia right the way down halfway through modern Chile. So it's a vast place. And Peru itself has got many Inca sites, apart from Machu Picchu. So in the Sacred Valley around Cusco, you have places like Pisac, this lofty fortress high up on a mountain top, and you have the Inca site of Ollantaytambo, which is still on the same Inca grid that it was originally, and it has this big fortress up on the hillside looking out over on a dramatic spot. On top of that, you have some beautiful sites in Cusco itself and on top of the hills around it as well. But it's not just about the Inca heritage. Peru has some of the best preserved colonial heritage in the whole of the Americas. Lima with its grand palaces, big plazas, and beautiful Baroque cathedrals. Up in the Andes, we have Arequipa, the White City, with its beautiful colonnades and surrounded by lovely scenery as well. Old monasteries there too. And of course, in Cusco itself, you have this fascinating mixture of Inca heritage and colonial cathedrals, temples as well. So, beautiful place.
Sounds amazingly, but of course there is so much more to Peru, isn't there, than just the history?
Absolutely, yes. Our tour of Peru is actually called Panoramic Peru for good reason, really. It's a scenically spectacular country. We saw in my South America highlights Lake Titicaca made it into there with its beautiful blue waters surrounded by mountains, and that's a stunning place for you to experience the Altiplano. But there's much more to the country as well. So you've got the Colca Canyon, a vast canyon that's actually twice as deep as the Grand Canyon in America. You have the High Altiplano, which is these rolling plains of grasslands surrounded by volcanoes and mountains. Further north into Peru, you have the High Andes themselves. And then further north from there, you even have the Amazon Basin, which is an amazing contrast to what we've been looking at earlier on, and a beautiful place to actually add on to your tour. You could spend a bit of time cruising on the Amazon or have a jungle stay there as well. So scenically, it's a diverse and spectacular country.
Lee, it sounds fantastic. So tell us, what incredible experiences can our customers expect when travelling on tour in Peru?
You're right, Andy. We always try and include as many immersive experiences as we can on all of our tours so that you can really get under the skin of the culture, and our panoramic Peru is no different. So I think one of my favorite experiences when I was in Peru was riding the Andean Explorer train from Cusco to Lake Titicaca. So it's a scenically spectacular journey, but more than that, the train is actually operated by the same people that run the Orient Express. So it's quite a luxurious experience too. So we have a lovely lunch on board as the scenery is going past your window. The train's also got an observation car and a bar car as well. So that's a real touch of luxury. I love it. So rather less indulgent, but still just as fascinating actually. We have plenty of opportunities to meet the locals. So in the Sacred Valley, we get off the beaten track a little bit and go and meet some local villagers, learn about their way of life and have lunch with them. And we do something very similar on the island of Tequila, which is in the middle of Lake Titicaca. So that's a place where their way of life has not changed much in centuries really. So it's a fascinating insight into their way of life. But probably one of my favorite experiences was in Arequipa itself, where we joined a local family to go shopping in the market for local produce. After we got back, we were invited back to the house, and then we cooked lunch together and then had lunch with the family. So it was a wonderful way to end our tour of Peru.
Lee, some amazing sights we've just seen in that clip for Chile. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you that Chile has repeatedly been voted one of the top destinations on the planet to visit. Lee, in your top highlights there, you talked about the Atacama Desert, which I've got to say sounds and looks amazing. Tell us more about this.
You're right, Andy. It was on my top highlights in South America, and I think it justifies its position there as well. Now, many people have heard about the Atacama Desert as being one of the driest places on the planet, but that doesn't do it justice at all. It's a scenically spectacular location. On our Chile top-to-toe tour, we spent 3 days in the Atacama. On the first day, we travel up into the Salar de Atacama, the salt flats, which is a scenically dramatic spot surrounded by volcanoes, these incredibly blue lakes. It's a photographer's dream, and even more so, the lakes are full of herds of flamingos as well. So on the second day, we travel high into the Andes, where we see the El Techo geyser field, which has got over 80 active geysers and fumaroles. And we travel higher up into meet some remote villages there. We might see alpacas and llamas as we're traveling around. And there's also some ancient petroglyphs there, some rock drawings, which shows that actually people have been living in the Atacama for thousands of years. We're also spend some time around San Pedro itself, which has got this fantastical landscape that's called the Valle de Luna, or the Moon Valley. So we've got soaring sand dunes, much like the desert of your imagination actually, and these rocky outcrops, and of course those beautiful sunsets that I talked about earlier.
Lee, that sounds spectacular, I've got to say, but hey, Chile has so much more. There is so much more than just the desert, yes?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you consider that the whole country is 2,000 miles long from top to toe, you're obviously going to see a lot of scenic variety. So as we travel south from the deserts, we get into the lush Central Valley, which is vineyards framed by the mountains of the Andes. Further south again, we get into the Lake District. Now, unlike our Lake District, this one actually features snow-capped volcanoes, turquoise lakes, rushing waterfalls as well. So it's a beautiful place. Further south, the country gets really wild as we get into Patagonia. So we have the Chilean fjords, and we have a world-famous Torres del Paine National Park, which is a dramatic, windswept location with towering granite mountains, iceberg-strewn lakes, and beautiful peaks.
So much to see, Lee. It sounds spectacular. I'm sure you'd agree, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us, what incredible experiences can our customers expect to see when they're travelling on tour in Chile?
You're right, Andy. It's a beautiful country, and our experiences on our Chile top-to-toe tour are all about immersing you in that natural beauty and making sure you get the most out of it. So, for example, when we're in the Atacama Desert, we spend an evening stargazing with an astronomer. And it's one of the best places in the world to see the stars because of the natural clarity and the dryness of the climate. And it's a wonderful way to get to know the stars of the southern sky and actually learn a little bit about the universe as well. So in the Lake District, we have some beautiful walks, nothing too strenuous, around the Orsona volcano, which is a really lovely way to immerse yourself in the landscape. And but I think probably one of my favorite experiences was far down in the south, on the Esperanza Sound. We had a beautiful day there where we cruised out onto the Sound, which is this dramatic fjord surrounded by towering cliffs, sailed up there past icebergs up to the face of the glacier, hopped off, walked through the forest, and then came out into this spectacular scene of the Serrano Glacier, this huge ice face. It's just one of the most awe-inspiring sights I've ever seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a selection of fantastic and exclusive travel festival offers for you today. Choose from free return flights to Japan, or partner flies free to all of our other destinations, or even a free single supplement on many of our most popular tours, and that is including Japan, saving you a whopping £1,940 per person. Or to help you fly in total style, we're also offering a free one-way business class upgrade to a wide selection of our destinations. Now, some of these offers must be booked by the 14th of February, whilst some of them are the 28th of February, and most are available on tours throughout 2022 and also 2023. So please check our website for all the details. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a big announcement. Are you ready? We have got a brand new service from Wendy Wu Tours. Now, we know that getting all the paperwork and the testing done before you travel can be quite daunting. So, ladies and gentlemen, just as we look after you every step of the way on tour, we're now taking away all the hassle and worry for you before you fly. So I can exclusively reveal to you today the launch of our brand new travel concierge service. Now, this new service includes either a pre-departure PCR test or 3 lots of lateral flow tests. Plus, you also get 3 personal calls from our travel team. You get a call before departure where a team member will assist you with all of your paperwork. You get a call before you fly home again, where again one of our team members will help you complete your paperwork for returning to the UK. And you also get a call when you arrive home just to make sure that everything went smoothly for you. Now, the current price for this new service is £199. But as a special attendee today, our new travel concierge service is just £99 per person, but you must book by the 14th of February 2022. And so, if all of this has really whet your appetite for travel, and just like me, you can't wait to get away, take a look at these incredible destinations, these getaways that are going to appear on your screen now. These are all departing in the next few months. Let's travel. ladies and gentlemen, fantastic to see you today on this, our Chinese New Year Travel Festival. And we hope you enjoyed your travels around South America, particularly Peru and Chile, just as much as we did. So now, as I mentioned at the start of the show, we've just seen part of the show already. The discussion, the all-important discussion, continues now as we head over to our virtual travel lounge, where our expert South America travel team are ready to answer all of your questions. And if you've never travelled with Wendy Wu Tours before, this is the perfect time to ask your questions, such as when is the best time to visit? What about the hotels that we'll be staying at? And how safe are we going to be on tour now? We want you to travel with full confidence, and that's why it is important that you have this time with our travel experts and to put forward any, and yes, I do mean any questions that you have concerning travel with us. So you'll see the link to the travel lounge on your screen now. Just click that link and you'll be in. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much. So now let's head over to that virtual travel lounge. I'll see you there.
We found Wendy Wu to be spot on from start to finish, with all the actual interactions from the booking to the preparation for the trip to arriving at the airport. It's been painless and faultless. Wendy Wu, they really do look after you.
I've been on other tours before, and yeah, Wendy Wu definitely includes sort of a lot more, makes it a lot easier.
I liked the idea of what Wendy Wu offered. They have an excellent reputation. So I looked at a number of other tour companies, but Wendy Wu seemed to be the best.
Everything being included is really important. It makes it very, very easy, and you don't have to worry.
I just felt confident that that Wendy would know, the best places to go and the best things to do, and it's proved so far on the trip. It's proved correct.
I've been really impressed with not only right from the start when I rang up to book. The staff in the office were really helpful, just kind of organising things and making sure that we got all the right paperwork in.
Our national escort was Lily. Lily's been fantastic, so full of energy and so helpful. She calls us Lily's family. She's always referring to us as Lily's family, and I think she's really helped us actually bond as a group, which made the whole trip much more enjoyable.
The Great Wall was extraordinary. It genuinely brought tears to my eyes, looking out and seeing, understanding the history, and just seeing how it was built in inhospitable terrain across the mountain ridges. It was awe-inspiring.
Wendy Wu staff, the local guides, our national guide Lily, they've been more than helpful on many occasions, and they have done absolutely everything they can to ensure that we've had the trip of a lifetime.
I hugged a panda, which was an amazing experience and one that I will never forget.
I recommend Wendy Wu Tour to everybody, and tell them that if they want to go to China, nobody better than Wendy Wu Tour.
I will recommend Wendy Wu. It's been a terrific experience with them. I've been very pleased.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I'd recommend it to people that want to go on an adventure and visit somewhere they'd probably only see once, but to see the authenticity rather than just the tourist highlights that you could see internet.
I will certainly recommend Wendy Wu Tours when I go back to England. In fact, I'm sure we'll be going on more Wendy Wu Tours because we want to go to Vietnam and other places, and I'll see Wendy Wu do those tours, so we'll certainly be booking again with Wendy Wu.